animal farming and its effects on the environment. 34 to 76 trillion gallons of water are annually used for animal agriculture. Animal agriculture is the raising of animals for meat, dairy, or other products. One may ask, how are animals' water footprints so massive? And to this question, there's a simple answer: trophic levels. A cow, being a primary consumer, would need to consume a whole bunch of water-rich grains, mostly soybeans, before it ends up on your plate. Look at this image. One hamburger has a tremendous water footprint of 2,400 liters. Even almond milk, criticized for using an extreme amount of water, has a footprint of about 371 liters of water, as its dairy counterpart is produced with almost double, 628 liters.
Speaking of the soybeans used for animal agriculture, forests are cleared for the production of soybeans, decreasing biodiversity and soil nutrients. 83 million acres of land in the U.S. is dedicated to soybeans, and 77% goes to animals. Such deforestation leads to global warming since trees of lush forests capture carbon dioxide that, without these trees, accumulates into the greenhouse gases of the atmosphere.
Another notable example of this deforestation is the clearing of mangrove forests lining the coast of Vietnam, Thailand, and China for the production of fish farms. Fish farming, known as aquaculture, exists to prevent overfishing, even though it's sometimes counteractive because these smaller fishes end up being overfished for fish feed and fish oil for the larger fishes we typically eat. 26 pounds of feed, including squid, blue mackerel, and sand eel, are used to produce a mere pound of bluefin tuna.
Ever heard of mercury and PCBs in salmon? Well, this is a result of overcrowding and sometimes polluted environments of fish farming. Salmon need to consume much greater amounts of lower-level organisms in order to have enough energy. Smaller fish eat several plankton that have consumed these toxins, and salmon, a secondary consumer, eats several of these small fish. A higher traffic level correlates to these higher concentrations of mercury and PCB.
Lastly, let's go back to the issue of global warming. An article from the University of Colorado titled "It May Be Uncomfortable, but We Need to Talk About It: The Animal Agriculture Industry and Zero Waste" states, animal agriculture produces 65% of the world's nitrous oxide emissions, which has a global warming impact 296 times greater than carbon dioxide. Raising livestock for human consumption generates nearly 15% of total global greenhouse gas emissions, which is greater than all the transportation emissions combined. Is that not shocking? Additionally, cows regularly produce methane as a product of enteric fermentation, a digestive process of theirs, and makes up a fourth of the greenhouse gas emissions of the agriculture section. Livestock waste, when not properly managed, makes its way into runoff and groundwater, contaminating them and eventually water bodies, causing eutrophication. The algal bloom that instantaneously develops creates these ocean dead zones because other animals of the ecosystem do not have enough oxygen.
Because of diseases, a result of the tight living spaces cows exist in animal agriculture, and for weight gain, they are given antibiotics which exist in their waste as well. Bacteria in contact with these antibiotic-filled waste become antibiotic resistant, creating issues and inconvenience for human medicine. So, what can we do to help? One solution is to use more human food waste products to feed animals.
But you could start by keeping in mind where your salmon comes from. After all, more polluted waters means more toxic salmon. Next, you can consume less of this and this, as well as ultra-processed foods generally. They're not only unhealthy, but clearly have an enormous water footprint. Instead, eat more nourishing vegetables and follow recipes utilizing vegetables. YouTube channels that could help include
A seemingly small change from you, done by everyone, can make a huge difference for our Earth.